I parked in the illegal valet parking. It was like, don't park here unless you're valet. I parked there anyway. And then I parked right next to the sprinkler. So my entire car right now is being soaked by the landscaping sprinkler and my whole driver's side door. So when I go to leave, I'm going to have to walk through this sprinkler to leave. But that's so me. Anyway, it's absolutely freezing out here today. Trying to figure out if I'm like in the mood for brunch, breakfast type food or lunch food, because technically it's like the time of the day where I could do either. So I'm kind of torn between steak frites or, well, maybe that's just what I'm gonna do, actually. Oh wait, here's the breakfast side. Ooh, they do have breakfast sandwich. Le breakfast bowl, we're at like a French place. Soft scramble. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna do, ooh, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. They have a lemon almond basil cake. Absolutely, yes. So I'm going to, ooh, they have a croissant. You know I love a croissant. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the steak frites, and I'm also gonna get croissant and lemon almond basil cake. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you okay with water?
Yes, well, I'm okay with water, and then could I also get an Aperol Spritz, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I actually know what I want, if that's okay. I'm gonna do the steak frites.
Okay. How did you want the steak cooked?
Medium, please. And then can I try just one plain croissant and then also the lemon almond basil cake?
Yeah.
Is that good? It looks good.
Actually, I think we might be out of it.
The lemon one or the croissant?
Yeah, the lemon.
Oh, no, okay, all right. If you don't have it, that's okay, we'll do the croissant.
Yeah? Okay.
So, and then yes, Aperol Spritz.
Chocolate croissant?
Regular, please.
Yeah. And
Thank
then
you.
With the steak frites, it comes with the sauce. I have chimichurri or peppercorn.
Ooh, chimichurri, please.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There's so many things that I want to talk about, but I know I have to like limit it so it's not too long. But it was weird because I wasn't planning on talking about this today or at all. It just kind of came up. Like I was just going off on my stories about a bunch of different things on Instagram the other day. I was talking about family and the importance of it and how like too many young people are making the mistake of living together before they're married. And I just said something like, I don't even remember what I said. I just said something like matter of fact, like, yeah, I don't agree with this or something. I don't remember how I got into it, but I got into it. And then when I posted that was my thought, is that you should live together before you're married, I didn't even know, like I thought this was just common knowledge, especially amongst fellow conservatives. I did not know that this was such a hot take, apparently. I got tons and tons and tons of DMs being like, why? Can you explain your reasoning? I'm like, can I explain my reasoning? Like I thought everybody knew this or understood why. It just makes sense to me. The thing is that it's always made sense to me. This has been a belief that I've had my entire life. It wasn't necessarily coming from like a religious place or whatever, and even though I'm a Christian, it's like, well, of course, Christians are gonna be like, well, yeah, you shouldn't live together before you're married because it's a lot harder to abstain from premarital sex or whatever. Yes, that is a reason, but also for a multitude of other reasons, it just seems like the smartest choice to me. So I was confused why everyone else was confused that I think this way. And everybody requested, I was like, okay, well, do you guys want me to do a podcast where it's just audio only and I just tell my thoughts on this for like 15 minutes? Or do you want a vlog? And you guys voted vlog. So I'm here, I'm at this cute little French restaurant in Scottsdale. I'm gonna get my steak frites and we're gonna eat and we're gonna talk. And my croissant. Which, I mean, everyone knows, like, associates me with cinnamon rolls. Lately, I've really had a thing for croissants now. And so that's been kind of weird. It's like a new chapter in my book. Anyway, I feel like I'm not sitting very attractively. I look like kind of a brunch assassin today, which is fun, like Alex Possible, brunch edition. I don't know, it was just what I put together. I'm also like in this interesting place where I'm realizing that, like, You don't have to have one set style. Like some days I wake up, I want to look like super grunge 90s heroine, and some days I wake up and I want to look like Little House on the Prairie. It's very fun. It's very interesting. You know, don't lock yourself in a box. Something I've learned here in my late 20s. Anyway, I'm trying to decide. Should I wait till the food comes to get into the living together, or should I just go and see where it takes us? Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ooh,
Enjoy.
thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Aperol Spritz are interesting because some people absolutely loathe these. Some people like them. And everybody, because I do like these, and everybody was like, you should try that. I talked about this on my story too recently. A Negroni, which I've never had. I'm a little scared because half of the people respond, they're like, yes, absolutely try Negroni. Half the people respond and said, absolutely do not. It'll be the worst thing you've tasted in your life. So I was a little bit too scared, so I have never tried that yet. Let's see. My little slice doesn't want to fit all the way. Oh, so good. I don't understand people that don't like this drink. It's so refreshing. It's like a palate cleanser. It's not too strong. It's not too sweet. It's not too bitter. Like an Aperol Spritz is perfect. And isn't it what they serve in Italy between meals or something? So you have like a fresh start between courses. I don't know. I've never been to Italy. I've never been to Europe. It's like this most frustrating part of my life that I'm in, where all of my friends are like married and having kids except me. So I'm like, ooh, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to plan like a trip to Europe for the summer. Let's see if this will fit. Ooh, it does. This seems like a better idea. Anyway, it's like one of those things where I'd like to plan like a summer trip to Europe. I'd like to go to south of France. I'd like to go to Italy. But nobody can go with me because everybody's like, I have kids, I have a family, you know, understandable. So nobody wants to go, and I'm just like, I'm in this weird purgatory of life. The last single one of my friends. I mean, I could go on my own, but I'm a little bit, here's the thing about me, I'm not that brave, honestly. Like I feel like people have this misconception of me that I'm super brave and like I could just go to Europe by myself. I could go to Florida by myself. I don't know if I am brave enough to go out of the country. Like that just seems scary. Trying to navigate like how to get around, the language, you know? And also I can't do anything without my best friend, Lauren. Like, she takes care of me. I would make a lot of bad decisions without her, and traveling all the way to Europe without her just seems like a death sentence, honestly. Where do I begin? I'm gonna tackle this subject from just I feel like what is a common sense perspective. Like, I'm not coming at this like, as a Christian, you should, blah, blah. I'm just saying like, this makes sense to me. And also, by the way, I'm just gonna talk about this. This is not like a partisan thing. This isn't, I mean, I think it's smart for a Christian to do, to not live together before you're married. But I'm not even coming at this from just a Christian perspective. I'm coming at this of like, this is what the data shows. I think you're stupid if you ignore it. That's where I'm coming from, okay? So first of all of these studies have been done on cohabitation, cohabiting, whatever. I don't know the fancy word. Living together before you're married. And what they found was men and women, when they decide to live together before they're married, first of all, it's happening on a slope scale. So this is what I mean by this. If you interview most people that live together before they're married, move in together, they say, oh, it just happened. And what they mean by that is like, okay, at first you're just spending the night together a lot, so you're with each other. Then you find out, oh, well, one of our leases is up. So it just makes sense. It's convenient. Like, we're already together a lot, so we're gonna do this. It's just on a slope scale, and then they always end up saying like, oh, it just happened. When women move in, women are under the impression of, okay, this is the next step to marriage. Like, marriage is a definite, and we're taking the step because we are getting married. When men decide to move in with their girlfriend, they just see it as like, oh good, I'm prolonging the time before I have to think about marriage. This is like another trial period for our relationship. This is how I have time to like see if we're compatible. And in my opinion, you gotta see if you're compatible before you're ever moving in together. Like, the things that you gotta find out if you're compatible or not, like, those are discussions and things that you're gonna figure out hanging out together. This is what I think. So, first of all, men and women are going into living together with completely different it's like a secret, not angle, but it's like a secret motive, I guess. And the problem is that they're moving in together. They're not talking about like, okay, what does this mean? Are we doing this because we're gonna get married? Are we doing this to just see how things go, make sure we're compatible, whatever. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when you move in together, you're sharing everything, right? You're sharing a lease, you're sharing all the bills, you're sharing your Wi-Fi bills, your internet, your cable, your electricity, water bill, lease, rent, whatever. You're sharing everything, you're sharing the furniture, maybe you're sharing a dog. Usually these types of people, you're sharing all of your friends. So you're all always hanging around the same people all the time. And it just adds this layer of, okay, so if you do move in together, you're sharing all these things and you realize, oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Food's here.
Do you want croissant first?
Oh yes, all of it. We'll set it here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This looks awesome.
Yay.
Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can get for you?
This looks perfect. I don't think I need anything else. Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy.
So they're moving in together, they're sharing everything. And then like, okay, so the whole thing is that you wanna, oh, it's a perfect croissant. Buttery, flaky, not too warm, not cold. Oh my God, it's good. Okay. So if you are trying things out and you realize, okay, wait a minute, there are some things that we may not be compatible on, you share everything, including friends, pets, bills, everything. It makes it that much harder to figure out how to get out. So that's my main problem, is you're setting yourself up like, basically you have no choice but to either live with them forever, not get married, or get married. But either way, if you realize that this person and you maybe don't have everything aligned, it is so much harder to get out of that relationship than if you were just dating. And this is the other thing studies have found. By the way, I probably have like crumbs on my lips, and that's fine. I like did a ton of research on this because I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna look up, these are non-political, non-religious reasons, like studies and things that have been done on, what is the word? Cohabitation? Cohabitation. All these studies. What they found was couples that move in together before getting married, if they would have only dated and not moved in together, they find that they would have only wasted a few months dating each other before they realized that they were not compatible, as opposed to years. These people that are moving in together before they're married, they're dating and being together for years. These are usually in your 20s, precious years in your 20s where you're trying to figure out life. You could have spent that time dating the right person, meeting your husband, getting married. You're with the wrong person because it's so much harder to get out because you're living together. Okay, so that's one huge thing. More bites. Look at my crumbs. Okay, so those are all those reasons. Also, one thing that researchers have found is that it is becoming a lot less taboo, or it's becoming very socially acceptable to move in before you're married. Like this, it's extremely normal. For me, almost all of my friends have lived together with their significant other before getting married. It's so normalized. However, the reason people do that is they think, I should probably try a fry. They think that, let me tell you something. There's something superior about skinny shoestring fries. I don't care what the haters say. This is the best way to eat a fry. I hate thick, like, if a restaurant says they offer potato wedges, I'm not ordering it. I'm getting any other side. Perfectly crunchy. I hate soggy fries. I pick through my Chick-fil-A bags. All the soggy ones I throw away. If it's not crunchy, I won't eat it. Okay, so just because it's becoming normal And the reason it's becoming normal to live together before you're married is because people are like, well, I have to test it out. That's the way to know if you're really, truly compatible and you won't get divorced. This is the thing. So many crumbs, so little time. The thing is that researchers who have studied people living together for over 40 years found that the rate of divorce for couples that live together did not change whatsoever. The rate of divorce was still higher for couples who live together before they're married as opposed to couples who do not. And here's one of the reasons. You live together before even deciding if you want to get married. For a lot of these couples that these researchers studied, it was just like they didn't really take the idea of marriage as seriously. Now, I'm not saying, here's the other thing I'm gonna get in the comments, and I'm gonna get tons of DMs that say that, well, I lived together before I was married, and I'm fine, and we're happily married. We've been married for 50 years, and we have 100 children, and we have 700 pets, and everything's hunky-dory, and we're Christian, and we're conservative. Okay, great. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying this isn't Alex Clark making up a theory about it's not good to live together before you're married. This is, sociologists or whatever it's called, the study of people, sociology, right? And they have found this, okay, over years and years of studying these people. The people that live together before they're married have a much higher rate of divorce. Also, they have a much higher rate of never getting married in the first place, as opposed to people who just date and then they decide to get married. The move, I'm sad my croissant is over. The move is date 6 months to a year, figure it the heck out. Do you want to get married or not? Do you want to get married or not? I don't know why this is so hard. When you're an adult and you're talking about adult things and you're talking about adult topics, you should be discussing all the things that would help you know, are we compatible or not to get married? The thing is, how somebody loads the dishwasher and things like that living together, if you're truly committed and you're married and you make that commitment as a we together to get married, like that stupid stuff about living together and if it's hard or not, whatever. And here's another thing that researchers found. They did find that for people that get married after living together, the first year of marriage is easier for them as opposed to people who did not live together. Why? Because they already have had that adjustment period of living with another person. However, they are still more likely years later down the road to get divorced than the people who didn't live together before marriage and had a first hard year of adjusting of living together. So that's what I found out. Let me see if there's anything else. And I do need to eat. I'm really bad about talking and eating. This is like on a first date, I'm talking and then I haven't even eaten after like 2 hours. Okay. I feel like I covered a lot of that. Okay, here's something interesting. There's a study, the Stanley and Rhodes study. They did a test group of men after doing cohabitation. The men admitted to feeling more depressed and anxious. Those same men also indicated that they had greater difficulty depending on others after cohabiting with a person. Women also reported feeling more anxious and more afraid of abandonment. Both men and women indicated that they felt less confident in the relationship as a whole. Stanley and Rhodes explained that couples who cohabit before marriage tend to have a more difficult time ending the non-marital relationship than couples who date but do not cohabit before marriage. Yes. And here's the thing, to put it simply, if you live with someone before you're married, you're showing them that you're willing to live with them without being married. Mind blown, right? Now, here's like personal Alex Clark thoughts too on this. Besides the studies, besides the research, it's more likely to lead to divorce, all these different things. If you're doing everything before your wedding day, you live together, you're having sex, you're literally doing every little thing. To me, this is why men have a problem. They're like, it's just a piece of paper. Why does it matter? Why do we actually have to get married? Because what's the difference? Like, truly, what's the difference? There's nothing to look forward to on your wedding day. On your wedding night, you've already had sex, you already lived together. To me, I'm like, at least don't move in together so you have, I mean, I don't think you should have sex before you're married either. But when everyone's gonna get mad about that, this whole episode should have been about that. No, I'm just trying to talk about living together, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be fun to, like, on your wedding night know, like, oh my God, finally we get to move in together, move into our house, we get to wake up next to each other, like we've never really gotten to do that on a consistent basis before. Like, there's something to look forward to. I feel like now, all of these couples that are living together and stuff in their 20s before they get married, like, there's nothing to look forward to. Like, your wedding night, like, nothing changes. And for me, I want to have something special to look forward to, you know? So, again, I understand that there are people that this has worked out. That's fine. You wanted to know why I don't agree with it, why I won't do it, never have. And, you know, it's funny for me because I always get all these stupid, like, comments and messages that I see in the conservative movement of people, like, dogging on me, like, I bet Alex Clark this, I bet Alex Clark that. I mean, truly, and I would say in more ways than one, I couldn't be more traditional. And that's probably why I have such a hard time. I get into long-term relationships, but, like, I have a problem with, like, taking it to the next step because I think I am more traditional and guys, like, don't know how to handle it. Oh, this is very good. Medium is the way to go. I'm not a medium rare person. I am a medium person. They gave me, like, some sauces. I don't even think I need them. I don't know, it's hard out here for a girl. It's hard out here for a girl, like, hey, I like to be fashionable. I really don't want to have sex with you. I really don't want to live with you before we're married. I want to save America. I'm not on birth control. I don't want to kill my own baby. Somehow that's controversial. So be it, I guess. Yeah, this is good. I will be back. Anyway, that's really everything I wanted to say. I have no idea if you guys like these vlogs, but we'll try them out, see what you think, and go from there. So, bone apple teeth. Have a great day. Don't live with your boyfriend before you're married. And maybe this episode changed your mind. Maybe it fueled your hate for me. I just got ketchup on my mouth, didn't I?